Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Football Overseas YouTube channel, and welcome to the FA Cup semi-final preview. We're looking at the two games this coming weekend, both at Wembley, of course. So we've got four teams and four sets of supporters descending on London over Saturday and Sunday, looking for a place in the FA Cup final in May. Always a great occasion, always has been. I think it just lost a little bit of its ebb, maybe a little bit of its prestigious nature, but I think it's back. I think the FA Cup has been a really good tournament this season, and it's good to see three teams in there that you don't perhaps normally see at this point, being Nottingham Forest, Palace, and the Villa. Manchester City, of course, are old hands at this, but you never know. Let's see what we can think. Have a look at both of these games. So on Saturday, first to take place is Crystal Palace against Aston Villa. Palace have had a great season. They started off a bit flakily, didn't they, in the Premier League? But they've really playing some good football and good to watch, good on the eye. They had a bit of a spanking at Newcastle the other week, but I think they've got half an eye on this fixture for a couple of weeks now. But they had a good 2-2 draw at the Arsenal only midweek this week, so they're still putting good teams, putting pressure on good teams, which is good to see for them. I like their manager too. He's very, very good to listen to. And the Villa, of course, have been doing all sorts of great things, haven't they? They were very unlucky against PSG in the Champions League last week. They really pulled that back as best they could, gave it everything. And they might just, I think all the tournaments perhaps together have just taken a little bit of a toll on the Villa. So they might just re-galvanise here and think, come on, this is a real chance for us to get to the final. And if I'm honest, I think Villa will just take the first game. I think both games are going to be very tight, very close. There's not much between these four sides. Three of them are in the top area of the Premier League, so and Palace aren't far behind. So there's four really top sides to entertain us, and I think the Villa will just sneak it over the Crystal Palace. I just think they'll want to get something out of their season. They've been so good, and I think they're deserving. And they might just miss out on Champions League qualification in the Premier League. They've now played a game more than everybody else, and they got beat by Manchester City midweek. That was the games that were brought forward from this weekend. So, I'm going to go first game then. Crystal Palace 1, Aston Villa 2. But I think it'll be pretty close. It will be pretty close. And then on Sunday, we return to Wembley for Nottingham Forest against Manchester City. Now, Manchester City have had a poor season. No, not a poor season. It's just not a season up to their normal standards. It's not a poor season by any means. They just would have expected a little bit more from it, I think, especially in the Champions League. They went out of that too early for their liking, of course, anyone's liking to go out early. But they've just perked up a little bit in the latter third of the season. They had that real dive, didn't they, mid-season? Nottingham Forest have been pretty consistent all the way through and have really entertained their way of football. Nuno's got them really playing some great football to watch as well. And it's been a really, I think, the most refreshing of all the teams that have sort of emerged this season. I think Forest have been a really refreshing one to watch. That aside, the Brightons, the Brentfords, and everybody else that have really come into the top brackets of the Premier League deserve praise as well. But Nottingham Forest, sitting third, have really transformed themselves, or Nuno has transformed them since last season. I think, and they've already got previous at beating Manchester City this season. And you've got to take a risk at times when you're doing these predictions. It would be easy to say Manchester City, current form, pretty good, and go on to take their place in the final. But I'm going to go plump for the Forest. I think it'd be nice if their entertaining style that they've gone about this season would result in a win and in a place in the final. I think it'd be a cracking final between Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa. They played out a wonderful match not too long ago in the Premier League, and I think it was marked then by the commentator. Wouldn't this be a great um, advert for the showpiece game in the FA Cup? So I think Nottingham Forest. I'm going to take goals about. I think that I just can't see these two sides playing too many minutes without a goal going in. So I'm going to go Nottingham Forest 3, Manchester City 2. Now that's quite an expansive scoreline for Wembley, but I think let's see what happens. So yeah, that's my take on the weekend. It's going to be exciting stuff. We've got the Premier League alongside it as well, all sorts of things going on. So, but I think the FA Cup semi-finals will be the jewels in the crown this weekend, and two games to really whet our appetites. So I'm going to just to recap them. I'm going Crystal Palace 1, Aston Villa 2, Nottingham Forest 3, Manchester City 2, all in normal time. And we shall see if any of that comes out. But I think it would be a great final if that were to happen. It'd be a great final, whoever gets through. But they would be my choices, and that's my predictions. I hope you have a great weekend following these matches and all the other football, all the other stuff on this channel. So please like and subscribe and tell your friends and family about it. But that's just a quick clip from me to just give my thoughts on this weekend's FA Cup semi-finals. Have a great weekend, take care, and I'll see you again soon.